Very.
And a lot of people, they were in the chat last night. Let's see what Shedeur does. Let's see what Shedeur does. Pressure in his face. The first touchdown. The corner slumps off. The flat. The safety is hugging him. He fits it in. Gets it in. Boom. He was impressive tonight.
Hey, keep proving it wrong, man. You like that, man.
Shedeur Sanders made the entire National Football League look like a whole bunch of petty fools.
Round selection is going to the division down.
Let's shoot the balls to hurt.
So it's getting into ridiculous territory. We're heading into day 3, and Shedeur's still on the board.
For Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders, I like to say is, I think it's disgusting. I don't understand what the heck's going on with this.
You'll never be bigger than the program, no matter who you are, and they will show you. They will always remind you at any given time if at any point you think you are bigger than the program, and that is all we seeing. That's all we're seeing right now.
In some cases, racist fools. In many cases, Deion despising fools.
So I've been hoping you got something positive to say about me. You don't want me to say negative stuff. Then I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you. No. I ain't see nothing positive. Everything. But What I do to you, Tony?
Well, now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
And so here we go again, back with another one. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel. And make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Y'all know what time it is. And here we go again. Back at it again. Shedeur did it again. He did exactly what a lot of us thought he was going to do.
He's doing the things that we expected him to do, and he looks great. He looks like the game's not too big for him. It's not too fast, showing poise. We would be celebrating and saying, man, this is a guy. He's coming into the league prepared. He's coming in the league ready to execute. Like, I can't wait to see him during the regular season because he looks the part. He looks like the guy we thought he was.
And if you're like me, if you watched Shedeur Sanders play at Jackson State, you watched him play at Colorado, you already had faith in him. You already knew what he was going to do. But even if he didn't go out and do and perform like we thought he was going to perform, I still had faith in him. It's just one game. But that one game, to a lot of his doubters and a lot of people who wanted to see him fail, meant everything. But in the same breath, unfortunately, that one game meant nothing.
They're going to move the goalposts, right? They're going to move the goalposts and say, well, he wasn't going against the Panther starters. What do you think is going to happen when he had the main characters in there around him?
But fortunately, he went out there and he did exactly what we thought he was going to do. And Shedeur Sanders went out there and had an incredible preseason debut. He had some crazy throws. I mean, there was one play where he got it between a tight window. I thought it was intercepted. And so what this speaks to, it speaks to exactly what a lot of us were raving about before Shedeur Sanders got drafted, was about his accuracy and how accurate he was. And not only his accuracy, but his decision making. And I thought that's what the quarterback position was supposed to be about. I thought that's why they didn't want us playing the quarterback position in the first place. It's about the processing of the game, the speed of the game, the thinking of the game.
But he has an arm that's plenty good enough.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Tom Brady, are you telling me Peyton Manning, are you telling me Phillip Rivers, are you telling me Drew Brees are more athletic than Shedeur? And they got it done. I'm not saying he's going to be any of those guys, but we're talking about just athleticism. Is he accurate? Because I've seen a lot of guys with Canada.
He's not just accurate. He's insanely accurate.
Exactly.
Insanely. Can throw every ball.
But Shedeur is extremely accurate. He does a great job of throwing and has great anticipatory skills.
Yes.
He does a great job of throwing guys open. That's the difference between college and the NFL.
Right.
Even when you think the guy isn't open, you throw him open. But most of the time, you're going to have to fit a ball into a tight window.
I thought those were attributes that a quarterback was supposed to have. I thought those were attributes that a first-round pick was supposed to have. I thought that's what they wanted, and I thought that's what they were looking for, as a lot of us did. They made it about everything else other than what they told us it was about.
Shedeur Sanders was perceived as being a first-round talent. And I don't believe for 1 second that it's just purely football reasons as to why this man fell out of the first round.
They done salted Shedeur up.
Yeah.
They done said all those bad things, but, you know.
They did it on purpose.
They did a number on it.
Yeah, they
did a job on it.
And either they're afraid of Deion, Deion's got them in his back pocket, they bought into the hype, also possibly. But this is all a Dion creation, right?
Well,
and look, Shedeur showed you even throughout this process that there's a out of control ego, that he's calling himself legendary.
But I just think there's a jealousy factor, and I do think there's an unlikable because he's brash, he's outspoken, flashy, all that kind of stuff, and he was a celeb for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been out there because of his dad, his name.
Nature of the business is he's Coach Prime's son. They're on every commercial every Saturday. They're everywhere in the media, and so everyone's intrigued. I don't think if his name was different, I don't think we'd have this much attention on him, because you know what he is at the end of the day? He's a really good football player who does not have an elite physical trait.
Was it because they thought he was cocky? Was it because of his dad? Was it because he was too brash? All the other nonsense that you hear. Because it isn't because of how he plays the game. I agree with you.
And since Shedeur Sanders got drafted to the Browns, he's been nothing but a class act. He's been everything that they said that he wasn't. And trust me when I tell you this, if Shedeur Sanders was as arrogant and as brash as they all said that he was, it would have came out by now. It would have shown by now. You can't hide that kind of arrogance and that kind of brashness that long. You can only do it for so long. Everybody can always fake it for a little bit. But when you're put to the test over and over again, you got the owner of the team coming out and saying that he don't want to draft you. You got reporters talking ish on the radio every day about you, saying this and that. It would have come out by now. But all he's done since then is put his team first, keep his head down, and other than a speeding ticket, keep his nose clean. There was no red flags with Shedeur Sanders. He was the picture-perfect prototype quarterback, a cerebral quarterback that can make all the necessary throws. And not only that, he was a great leader and he was a winner.
In almost 40 years, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. Fifth player on my board. It's never happened before in 47 years where a player that high has dropped this far into the fourth round at quarterback.
Winning the championship at a Jackson State, going to a Colorado team that was a one-win team, and your second year being college quarterback of the year and leading your team to a bowl game, that's winning. And in America, we reward winners. We love our winners. We elevate our winners. They go in the first round. This is a meritocracy, right? Shedeur Sanders was supposed to go in the first round. But they didn't do that. They didn't reward Shedeur Sanders like they rewarded everybody else that played the way he played. Instead, they embarrassed him, or at least they tried to embarrass him.
Thank everybody for being here. We all didn't expect this, of course, but I feel like with God, anything possible, everything possible. I don't feel like this happened, for no reason. All this is of course, fuel to the fire. And under no circumstance, we all know this shouldn't have happened. But we understand we're on the bigger and better things. Tomorrow's the day. We're going to be happy regardless. Legendary.
And in the process, make us all seem like we were crazy. Like we didn't see what we saw at Colorado. We didn't see what we saw at Jackson State. That's why Shedeur Sanders is as big as he is. That's why he's as big a story as he is. Because we got eyes. We can see what we saw, and we can see what we're seeing now. And so shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Shout out to the Sanders family. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to keep rocking with you. Make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button before you leave, and make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. Let's go ahead and try to keep the conversation going. And as usual, peace and chaos.